Hey everybody, it's part 3 of South by Southwest, and in this one I'm gonna cover all the companies that were on the trade show floor and all the conversations that I had with them and all the cool tech and weird stuff that happened on the floor. So buckle in, and here comes part 3. There were a lot of companies showing their wares on the trade show floor, and they were all over the board, from healthcare to rockets to AI to weird games and crazy ideas and 3D printed sushi. There was just a lot of cool stuff, so let's dig in. So these guys were here last year. They had the sushi teleporter, but this year they've come back with a sushi 3D printer. This is sort of an FDM type of 3D printer, and I was asking them about their print times. They were a little uncertain about how long it was going to take to print this sushi, but they're planning on opening a restaurant in 2020, so I think they need to get that figured out pretty quick. Content production was a really big thing at South by Southwest. This company had an incredible rig, and I was just so jealous of this. And maybe what we should do is start a Patreon for me to get one of these. I think that's an awesome idea. Japan never fails to bring its A game. They had all sorts of cool stuff. This one was kind of cool. This device had little transparent boxes on rods that would move in and out based on the image that was projected on it. So it would handle this interesting sort of 3D projection mapping thing with dimensionality that was pretty cool. Could be really good for advertising or point of sale type of implementations, or in a much larger context, you could do some really cool big projection things for events. The Human Rights Foundation was there looking for old flash drives so that they could use them in third world countries and in countries in conflict. So they could load these flash drives with content and information that would help the people in these countries. The folks at Crew were showing off IOSafe, which is a waterproof, fireproof NAS in a safe. The thing that I think is interesting about this is that as edge computing applications become more prevalent, you're going to need devices like this that can tolerate difficult conditions or the elements or challenging environments. I was not much help in the breastfeeding department, but with this device, I could jump in. Younglee had these spinning LED devices that really give you that sense of a holographic image. The image quality was surprisingly good. I could see this playing really well in different advertising campaigns or point of sale kind of implementations. It's a really interesting marketing device. We in the tech world do not take care of ourselves well, and one of the things that was there that could help with that is a meditation pillow with guided meditation information. Help take some of that stress out of your life. This is an interesting product. Camerize allows you to live stream cell phone video from multiple users on the same Wi-Fi network to create a broadcast-like multi-camera shoot. If you have a bunch of people with cell phones at an event, they can become your camera crew, and you can edit between all the different cameras. I could see how that would be really cool in like a concert setting or something like that. The folks from Firefly were there again, and it's great to see them still alive and kicking. They are looking to have their first launch by the end of the year, launching micro satellites. We had an awesome, long, in-depth conversation around 3D printing. More rockets, more better. Another rocket company was there, Lockheed Martin, and they were showing off all sorts of technologies. They were showing off some of the work that they're doing for NASA. And for the post-humanists out there, this guy was demonstrating an exoskeleton that gives more power to your legs. Wolfram Alpha is another one that I really love. I always use it for searching really weird, crazy data. It has a natural language engine that parses your input and gives you all sorts of rich data back. They've got a lot of cool things for math geeks, and they've got a lot of cool things happening on the AI front these days. I saw this local Austin, Texas company uplift desks at South by Southwest, and I gotta say, I had to get one. This is a motorized standing desk. It's extremely stable, comes with a lot of cool accessories. I bought one, and I gotta say, it really improved my ergonomics and helped with some shoulder issues that I'd been developing because my desk was a little too high, and I kept doing this all day, which is not good. South by Southwest had multiple trade show floors. There was the Health and Wellness Expo. There was the main interactive trade show. There was also a Star startup showcase trade show floor. There are a lot of cool early stage ideas. Big Music was there. They work with bands as micro-influencers to help them monetize their content. So they help feed advertising to bands that have a significant enough following, and they can run very highly targeted marketing campaigns. Another cool product on the take care of yourself front is from Yume. These are heated eye covers that go across your eye and give you vibration sensations to help you through breathing exercises and through guided meditation. This was designed by ophthalmologists. It heats your eyes to give you some relief from all the screens that you stare at all day long. And don't tell me you don't stare at a lot of screens, because I know you do. One of the great things about South by Southwest is countries show up and they showcase some of their brightest up and coming companies. And this international perspective is really awesome. Here in the United States, we talk about all of our cloud providers, but there's some huge cloud providers that we don't even really consider. Alibaba has a huge cloud presence. Tencent is an enormous music sharing platform that we in the West don't ever consider. There are lots of opportunities to discover products from other markets and to sell into other markets. If you are not paying attention to these markets, you're missing huge opportunities potentially. Austin Chronicle brought out this car for some reason. I'm not entirely sure, but it's kind of fun. Music was integrated into everything. There were a lot of music companies on the show floor, and there were opportunities for musicians to play right in the convention center. So do you ever feel stressed out and feel like a nice hot cup of tea would really chill you out? This company analyzes your mood, the time of day, things in your environment, and makes recommendations for the right kind of tea and the right way to brew it for your particular situation. So if it's morning and you need more caffeine, it changes its brewing style to create a tea with more caffeine in it. I'm not entirely sure when you would ever need tea with less caffeine in it. So this company, Empath, is using AI technology to listen to your voice and tries to identify the emotional context of what you're saying. Strolly is a cool company that's in the geospatial biz. They produce event-based maps. They were the map for South by Southwest. So this is a way, if you're having an event, you can brand locations and you can give customized location data and information, and they provide a platform to do this. Everybody's a vlogger. Okay, I admit it, I got a haircut mid-video, so I got continuity problems. So one of the craziest things I saw at South by Southwest was from Ale Company, and it was meteor showers on demand. These guys launched microsatellites into orbit with these small pellets of different materials. Within 24 hours, they can move this satellite into position anywhere on the planet. And then they launch these pellets into the atmosphere, and as they burn up, they produce this meteor shower. For example, you could have like a big fireworks show at the Super Bowl, and at the end of the fireworks show, it finishes with a meteor shower with all different colors from the different materials that they launch. They say it costs about $1 million, which is a lot of money, but not out of reach for some of these big events. So the thing that's crazy about this is that you've got a kinetic energy weapon. They launched a kinetic energy weapon into space. Instead of pointing those pellets down, they could point them at other satellites. This seems like a surprisingly crazy thing, but it's really cool. Yes, this is a good one. Where's my J Startups? Nope, that's not it. There it is, J Startups. So this guy was presenting from AI Silk Corporation, and basically what they're doing is they're taking the DNA from spiders and their spider webs and inserting it into bacteria to produce this super strong silk-like material. And they've already got a deal with North Face to produce jackets, which should be coming out, I think, later this fall. Spider silk proteins are very strong, and so they're producing some really excellent fibers with this. I can't wait to see what these jackets are like. So in the last video, we talked about the VR version of the world's saddest disco. This time, we've got the world's smallest self-contained disco, but it seems like a hell of a lot more fun than the VR one. So this is Visu.al, Visual. They have a proprietary technology to enable videos directly in email. That apparently works pretty well. So Hub is an event management platform. Here at Future Tech, we do a lot of events, and having some centralized, oh, I'm gonna sneeze. So here at Future Tech, we do a lot of events, and having a tool like this could be really beneficial. This is really targeted at organizations that are much larger than what we do, and for events that are significantly larger, but hopefully we'll get there one day. Curio uses intelligence to find digital assets. They have a lot of tools for helping to identify, find, label, and sort through content. Then there was the security side of things. For one thing, the CIA was there and they got really pissed at me for filming them. In fact, the person who was at the booth chased me down and told me to erase all the images off my camera. I could take some video of the booth, but no one would be in the booth. Considering the fact that we were at South by Southwest, which is all about content creation, I think it was a little bit of an unreasonable ask, but it's the CIA. If you want to improve your life on the security front, a password manager can help you do that. You can use a password manager to set unique, strong passwords for every site you visit, and use the password manager to retrieve all of those. My favorite is 1Password from Agile Bytes. I've been using it for years and it really comes in handy. And it also helps with anti-phishing. It won't insert your password for a site unless the URL is correct. There was Route 9B. I will put a link up here for a full-length interview that I did with them. They're leveraging artificial intelligence to enhance security, but they're also leveraging real people to look at this data and interpret this data so that you get better results. And then on the compliance side of the house, we had Access Partnership. They have a Wikipedia-style database of different countries' compliance and regulatory requirements that you can use to make sure that you stay compliant globally. I did a longer interview with them and I'll put the link right here. So next up is a bunch of robots. These robots were playing a whole bunch of really lame 80s songs and it was kind of cheesy synthy stuff, but the robots are actually pretty cool. They had them there at the show last year. They had a much bigger one there last year, but this year they decided to focus in on the music nature of South by Southwest. So they were playing tunes this year. There are also these follow you around robots, and I did a video on the robots of South by Southwest, and I'll link to it up here. And this is AI Gamer. He's out there playing video games so that you don't have to. Somebody might be out of a job soon. This robot cooks breakfast for you, if your breakfast is a lot of little plastic pieces of food. But I guess there's a plan to actually have it cook meals. The Lovots are absolutely adorable. They're personable. They have big eyes that light up when they see you. They're plush. When you pick them up, they fold into themselves and become these warm little heated plush dolls. But there's a bigger purpose behind a lot of this because they provide a lifeline for elderly people who may have diminished cognitive capabilities, and these give them something to care for and pay attention to that doesn't require the kind of attention that a pet might. And because they have cameras and sensors, they can also take care of these people to some extent. But I mean, come on, how cute are these? And the VR wasn't limited just to some of the activations. Lockheed Martin had a VR simulation of going to Mars. Spain was showing off Shooter, which provides live interactive streaming feeds over video content. And WeSense.us from Brazil was showing off this interactive augmented reality video game where you shoot it out with your friend on their cell phone. And these two went at it in the aisle of the exhibit hall. And these folks created the Holobox. So his vision was really to take small sci-fi figures and put it into this box and create holograms around it. You could really see this as an interesting point of sale display technology that integrates holograms with product placement. So I think there's a bigger use case for this. So Mitsubishi was showing off Swipe Talk, overlaying text as augmented reality on real life scenes. Depending on where you are, you could write a message and leave that, and so that other people, when they arrive at that location, could pull it up and see that text in context with the location. A lot of interesting marketing and branding opportunities for this technology as well. There was a lot more stuff on the trade show floor that I just can't include, and it ranged from personal wearable ultrasound incontinence devices to interactive children's books to clothing and bath bombs and all sorts of stuff. So I would suggest start planning right away to be there next year because it's going to be bigger and better, I'm sure. And tickets are cheap now and hotels may be available still. So that's it for now, and I will see you in the next video.